Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
Sunday evening.
It's been such a long week.
It's been a long week. For some people, though, I mean, some people who are just hustlers, like these young, like just people that are just on their grind, their late 20s, early 30s. It's like it's nothing for them.
Mid-30s.
Or people who are just like super in shape, like my mother.
Yeah,
Who's
your
almost
mom-
80. She
Your
doesn't
mom
care.
will be doing
Yeah.
podcast, and
But yeah, so I
Yoga.
spent the week in LA.
I spent the week in Orange County.
Yeah. I don't think you did anything in Orange County.
I did lots of things. Well, I worked. I went to the office 3 days in a row. Everyone in the office. I know. People in the office were like, "Whoa, what a treat! You'll be here again tomorrow." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess."
Yeah. Yeah, I was in my office, my assigned office at in LA. A CEO from Jersey was out there, so it was pretty cool. Had a taco truck for
Really?
the staff. Yeah, had a little holiday thing.
Oh, that's nice.
And then the next day, so that was Wednesday, and on Thursday I did a little lunch for my little team.
Mm-hmm.
We had some fun there. Got them all some small gifts. It's good. I mean, when it comes to working in the office and not versus not working in the office, obviously there's the old school
Yeah.
people who they don't know anything else except
Right.
getting up early, even if you got to drive an hour,
Yeah.
get to the office. And then there's the younger people, the younger millennials and Zoomers who are just like a lot of their
Everything done
careers.
at home.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you graduated from college in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
you may have never worked in an office, even if you went
Mm.
straight from college to a corporate job,
Yeah.
because you might have spent, you graduated in 2019 and then into 2020 is probably when you first got your big, your first gig. And then the pandemic hit. You may have technically never have stepped in an
Yeah.
office except to pick up supplies or something. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it is just that huge disconnect. And then there's people like me who are Gen X. We're in the middle. We're just like,
We had both, and
yeah,
I do think before I was like, why do I need to go in? I can do as much work, even more work at home.
hmm
There's no difference. But after being there for a few days, it is a big difference. I did feel very disconnected before that. And then after that this week, I'm like, oh, I guess I should come in more often. Like being face to face with them, I felt more connected.
hmm
I mean, even though it's something small,
I think it depends on your communication skill
Yeah,
level, right?
I think so.
If you have a high level, like and I'm not saying, this is like a self brag, but I've always had a high level of communication. I studied communication styles, leadership styles, and if that's your thing, it doesn't really matter what medium you're on. I could be face to face. I had a whole career as a social worker. In HR, I've learned how to do investigations over Zoom, which people are like, how do you interrogate somebody or interview somebody who has misconduct over Zoom? Like, how do you, and it's like you develop a style to do it, If you're somebody who really kind of needs every ounce of nuance to get your point across and you only have one communication style, you probably need to be there in person. Yeah.
I mean, once in a while it's okay. I mean, I guess I'll start coming up more. And then it's all my fault, I'm just like, oh, whatever. I'm just going to do my work. You do yours and whatever, like that. But now it's like, even with the one, and we did a team building.
Mm-hmm.
We did Letters of Love. It's an organization that writes letters and makes cards for, children who are sick and, seriously ill
Mm-hmm.
in the hospital or hospice even. So we committed to, like, as a team, write or make a certain number of cards.
Mhm.
So we all did that together. We had some people virtually sign in too and on camera. So that was a fun team building.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I met with some of them face to face, and I was like, oh.
I can actually touch you.
No, it was more like, oh, this is how you do this, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I don't know, they feel like, and then while you're just doing the making card thing, they just talk and you get to know them more. And I'm like, oh, I guess I should come in more often.
Yeah, I think one of the things that people need to be careful of is when you're doing everything remotely is that the problem, and this is something that I've noticed, and you could train your way out of it. It's not like, because I think the world's going remote anyway.
Yeah.
That's just the trend. So whether you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's kind of going to happen. But you can't, it's the casualness, right? If you have a team meeting or you say, hey, can I get on a call with you via Teams, via Zoom, whatever, sometimes people will only bring up things that they think are not going to be a waste of time.
Right.
And true collaborative efforts, I'd say 80% of a collaborative meeting is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like as far as the outcome. But it's not a waste of time as far as getting to know that other person.
Right.
And I think so if it's like, oh, like, how are you doing? Like all those type of things are usually cut out because you're trying to be so respectful of each other's time.
Yeah.
We
only talk about what's on the agenda.
But yeah, because there's no water cooler anymore.
Yes.
There's none of that, interactive, stuff that's just in the air.
Right.
Because when I was in the office, we wasted a lot of time talking to each other about families, about this, about that.
Yeah.
And you get to know somebody. And when you get to know somebody on those levels, when it comes to something serious, you know exactly how to approach them.
Right.
Or if you need to train that person, you know exactly how to approach them. What's going to trigger them about this? What sets them off? What's this? If it's just if you only got to know them over Zoom and you're only sticking to major points of business, a lot of things can be lost in translation.
Yeah.
Even if you're speaking the same language.
No, like that's true. A really good example is I didn't know that, one of my employees is like struggling at home in the sense that, one of her kids is going to a private school because they're good at basketball or whatever. But academically, it's really hard for the parents because he has a science project, for example. And this is only like 7th grade. Like some major science project, where you make volcanoes or whatever. I don't know what. But she's like, oh my gosh, I can't take this. Like every day she's trying to do homework with him. Imagine that. Like you think you're done with school and you're like, But then so I find out, and I wouldn't have known that if I didn't come into the office. She was talking about, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because
now
nobody's
it's a
going to say
science
that
project.
in the middle of a
meeting, right?
meeting.
Especially my meetings where I don't like, remember I told you I don't like it when people start meetings with, oh, how's the weather? It's like, hey, get on with it. So like, especially with my meetings, right, where
Are
I'm
you a
robotic.
toxic boss?
No, I just like to get to the point because I don't like wasting people's time.
Which is toxicity to some people.
Really? Well,
No. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you mean to be a mean person. I'm saying
I'm not mean.
No,
I'm just
I'm telling you, you're not mean.
Okay.
Okay. See how you get triggered? I'm saying if somebody, there are super productive people who their language, their communication style is you caring about them as a person. And then once they know that you're not out to get them or you actually care about what's going on, they don't need you to solve any of their personal problems.
Right.
They just want you to know, hey, I'm a person.
Yes.
And once you acknowledge that, they'll run miles for you.
Yeah.
And then some people don't need that at all.
Right.
Some people just give me the flow chart and I'll just run with it.
Right.
But you don't know which type of person is which until you have that connection.
Because I used to decline meetings if it doesn't have an agenda. I was like, okay, what are we going to talk about? If there's no agenda, I'm going to decline it.
Because you're not that type. You're not
go through the
former,
checklist, and that's all I need. And then so it's like we only have half an hour. Just get on with it. Don't talk about Thanksgiving. Don't talk about how was your Thanksgiving and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. And if somebody doesn't meet you in person and they don't have those connections, what I'm saying is they would consider that toxic because they don't know you. They don't know you're a human being either. You know, if that's all they knew about you was like, hey, just don't waste my time on a meeting, would somebody guess that you had a Disney podcast? No, probably not.
Probably not.
No, unless you're forced to share
I
something.
mean,
You know,
maybe
yeah,
they don't think I'm mean. They think I'm nice,
yeah.
but I'm very matter of fact. Like I'm in that in my personal life. Like remember my bridal shower? Oh wait, you were there later.
Mhm.
You know when at bridal showers when people do questions about the bride and you're
Yeah.
supposed to get,
Yeah, no one knew
dude,
anything.
nobody knew anything about me. People are like, dude, I think we have to hang out more.
Yeah,
Or I
Your
just don't share
friends.
anything. I don't share anything. They're like, these questions are hard. We don't know anything
Yeah.
about you. We've been friends for like 20 years, but we don't know the answers to these questions.
I remember at our wedding, because I'm the type of person that's like, the more you share, the less vulnerable you are. You know, and it's because it's like, okay, well, yeah, you know, get over it. This is what you know about me.
Yeah.
I was telling one of my reports, you know, the other day. I said, she's like, yeah, you know, we were talking about we're not kind of like a typical boss. Like I'll let her know like personal stuff. I'll let her know certain things. You know, not like TMI type of stuff, but like And I said, I don't succeed without you.
Mhm.
I stand on your shoulders. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And I would, out of everybody in the organization, you're the one person who needs to know my vulnerabilities because when we're offline, you're probably the only one I talk to offline.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be like, hey, you know, I think you were to this, or I think you were to that, or maybe you want to reconsider this or reconsider that. That's how a team should work. That's how
Yeah.
a team should function.
Yeah.
For me to be closed off to that person is making myself vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because now I'm just floating in the abyss by myself, and unless I'm a total narcissist that I think I can't make any mistakes,
Right.
nobody's going to check my mistakes before it gets elevated.
Right.
And so you want that
Yeah.
layer of
Which is
accountability.
weird because I
Yeah.
have we have a podcast and
Mhm.
it's not like I'm a private person
hmm
because we have a podcast and I share, pictures and, our Disney experience.
Mhm.
So I'm not a private person where I freak out about,
Yeah.
people knowing me,
hmm
but I think it's more like I'm so matter of fact, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm friendly.
I often wonder, because Chapek took over during the pandemic era, when so many people were remote, the people who could be, the parks were closed for a good portion of his tenure. I wonder if he would have took over during a different time period, would that have changed his style? Because he would have maybe gotten more of a chance to know people instead of just through monitor. Maybe not. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. But I'm just saying, if you are that type of person who is very closed off and you're not forced to be at the parks and you're not forced, well, actually not even forced, but you can't actually meet your people and your reports, that's going to make your whatever about your personality, whether you're super nice, whether you're super cold, whether you're super whatever, that magnifies it. Whatever you are, it magnifies it because that's all anybody's going to get. They're not going to get any nuanced, perspective of your personality because they're only going to know meeting you.
Yeah.
And when I say meeting you, like, quote, a meeting.
Yeah,
like
meeting.
a noun.
Yeah, meetings.
The
Official
meeting-
stuff.
Yeah. They're only going to know you as an official persona
Yeah.
and not Bob,
Yeah.
not Tracy. So you kind of have to be careful about those things. But I was just trying to wrap it up for Disney because we haven't talked anything Disney yet.
We were just telling you how our week went.
Yeah.
And I think it was
And
very
why we're doing this on a Sunday.
eye-opening, and I should be more engaging.
Yeah. That's good.
So
Continuous improvement is something everyone needs, myself included. So,
yes.
so speaking of, well, good
Engagement.
thing, engagement. We will still be giving out at least 3 superfan giveaways this month.
Oh yeah. I forgot
So,
about that. Yeah. I haven't been home, so I forgot.
I know. We already have the prizes and everything. They're not going to be huge prizes. They're just going to be things of appreciation. We're probably, if one of our new, because we have a couple people who are new who haven't gotten their welcome package yet.
Yeah.
So, but don't worry if you haven't gotten your card yet. I think the new people know who they are. You are already entered. So when we do the drawings and stuff, don't worry about it. If you haven't gotten your card yet, you'll be entered. So the big monthly giveaway, which people seem to be pretty excited about, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, there's some people who said they won't
They would never enter again because
they feel like we're too much of friends.
Yeah.
Joe Whipfloat. She's like, I think I have to enter because the prize is so good.
Hey, that's fine. We never told her she couldn't enter.
I know. She just felt like, oh, we're too much of friends.
Well, but we're going to be friends with lots of people.
Yeah,
so
everybody feel free to enter. I mean,
I
entered Outfitter Creations giveaway.
Hey, they have good stuff. Really good stuff.
So.
But yeah, so that is the Loungefly. We're giving away, I believe it's the whole collection. I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah. It's the backpack, a snow globe.
Mickey and Minnie. Is Mickey and Minnie?
Yeah, it's Mickey and Minnie. Well, Mickey and Minnie as snowmen.
Oh, yeah. It's like a snow globe.
Yeah, snow globe collection and backpack, purse, and wallet.
Yeah.
And we've already posted pictures of that. And that one is going to end on the 17th. So we get like a week. No,
next Saturday.
5 days from now, right? Pretty much.
This coming Saturday.
Technically 6 days. It'll end at midnight on Saturday.
When I come home, I have to right away go to the post office.
Yeah.
Because
we want people to get this before Christmas, and that's why we end some of these holiday ones early. So all you have to do is direct message us the answer to this question. If you could have your own Disney shop, restaurant, or attraction, what would it be? And when I first asked this question, I was thinking about somebody, people picking attractions that already exist. But I'm glad I asked it this way because now people are using their imagination and saying, if I could create anything, my own Disney business, what would that look like? And we're getting some really cool answers. Yeah. So that slight mistake on my part ended up being a boon because the answers we're getting are way more creative and way more fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think we have some really ones. Maybe we'll read some. Yeah, we'll share some when the contest is over.
Yeah.
But yeah, just you do that for basically Facebook, Instagram, or email us at info@ropedroppingknowledge.com. For each one you do, you would get an additional entry. And like we said, this ends on the 17th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Must be 18 years or older and live in the United States. But yeah, this is a pretty cool Christmas prize, holiday prize. And I'm proud of it. I'm glad we put together, because we never gave a collection before, an entire collection.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool. And the wallet.
The in-park giveaway was claimed last visit. It's probably because we went on a Friday for a change.
Yeah.
Well, it's only because we're blocked on Saturdays now.
Yeah, I know. We had to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Camille
found us.
Mm-hmm.
And we were hanging out near the Matterhorn.
It was cold under the mountain. This is the first time this year I was actually cold. I was like, dang. It
was cold, but nice.
I mean, not like super cold, but like during the day type of chilly.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, But, and I wanted to move, but then she's like, oh, I'm at the gates. We're coming back in. So it was kind of cool. We met her and her husband. You guys took a picture. And, congratulations. But for everyone to know, we have a giveaway every time we are at the parks. So this time this past time was our last time in 2022, but we will be back January 14th, I believe. So, yeah.
We didn't plan to, but then we figured, oh, wait. This is our last visit of the whole
We weren't even thinking about
year.
it. Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to not come back until Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, January 28th.
Yeah. But
then we realized, we're not going to be back at all. Man, I should have eaten everything. That was my last chance to eat all the holiday treats.
You always eat a lot. You always eat, and then you're like, oh, I know. Too much.
I had that face, that coma face. I just sat there just staring into space.
In the South, black folks like us call it the itis. Where you want to go to sleep.
Yeah. So.
But there's no sleeping at Disney. for most people. We
Yeah.
did see a guy on a bench just totally hungover and passed out before.
Yeah,
but
the couches at Sonoma is easy to sleep at.
That's
on.
true. Yeah, New
I
Year's
did
Eve.
that.
That's a great spot
Yeah,
to wait
I
for the
felt-
fireworks.
I fell asleep for half an hour on New Year's Eve once.
Um,
But yeah, our last visit.
hmm But it was a
the
cool
year.
visit. Yeah, but we had a lot of fun though.
Mm-hmm.
We did. We talk about the Goofy Sky School. We went there, did the whole.
We got a lightning lane for it.
Yeah.
While walking there, I saw the coaster, the little cart, just stopped up
Yeah.
on top.
I posted that on a story.
It was just stopped. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's not working. So we were hoping for one of those when
I'm
you,
always.
yeah,
hoping
when
for
you
that.
get a lightning lane for something and the ride breaks down, it gives you a multi-experience, which is like a free lightning lane for anything you want. At
Except
both
for the a la
parks.
carte rides.
Except for the a la carte, but for both parks. So we're like, oh yes,
for
come on,
any
come on, come on.
time. That's what's important.
Yeah, anytime, any whatever.
hmm
So,
You would absolutely rather have that.
yes, we were crossing our fingers for a multi-experience. It's called a multi-experience lightning lane, and
Yeah. It's cool because you're not trapped by time constraints.
yeah,
You know, and you can go anywhere. Or like, let's say you already went on Space Mountain. Well, you can go on it twice.
yeah.
You know, now because
But
it
you
just
make
looks
sure
good.
you don't scan the lightning lane. So we held off. We sat
Instead of using our magic bands.
yes, but don't scan it. I mean, it'll convert to multi-experience if
Oh,
you
right,
don't
right.
scan it. So don't like
If
try
a
to get
ride
in
is
line.
broke down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we waited around there, stalking it, waiting
Mm-hmm.
for it to, totally break and not open up again. And then at the time of
hmm
it converts to it at the time of you're supposed to scan in
Yeah, or a little after.
a little after. Yeah. You just
Now,
have to
here's
be
the thing:
patient.
if you're in line, I think that they just use their little scanners and give you one.
Yeah.
But then you have to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this
that's why
one
you
just
don't
does
scan in.
automatically.
Just
Yeah.
wait.
If you see the ride that is already broken down, if you're already in line, they'll still give you one. You just have to wait.
It
in line
happened to
get
us
one.
twice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how we were. Camille was able to find us because we were waiting to get onto Matterhorn. So we sat there, and then we're like, "Huh, it's kind of quiet. I wonder if it's not running." So then we saw some people get out from a weird gate,
Yeah, on
and
the
then
side.
we're like, "It's broken! Yes, multi-experience." So we just sat there and waited,
I know,
even though we didn't get to ride Matterhorn, but that's okay.
but we could have. Well, I don't know if it wanted
Like
to open
later
back up.
on, yeah.
But
So,
like, it was one of those things where it was already kind of late in the day, so
Mm-hmm.
all the big rides were kind of like, you'd have to go at like 10 o'clock. Like if you want
Yeah.
to get like a lightning lane for like Space Mountain,
I think your alarm.
but I don't know.
7:30 a.m.
Oh.
p.m.
Why. Okay, hold on.
right.
Okay, so
Our alarms were going off.
Google, man. Smart homes ain't always that smart. So yeah, all the rides were kind of pushed back, so we ended up going on Space Mountain just right then, and
Mm-hmm.
that was cool. So
Yeah. So,
that reminds me, I need to download the picture.
but then we totally hacked the Goofy Sky School.
hmm Because
Because
when we went back
Closed.
to
and
the Goofy Sky School in California Adventure,
we were
went
just
to
walking by it.
well because I was asking about the photo pass. We went
Mhm.
to get a photo pass thing,
Mhm.
and then when we came back, it looked like they were letting people
They
in.
had just reopened
They
it.
had just reopened. So
We saw like a sea of people running towards
Mhm.
them, and we're like, "What's going on?"
and it said 25 minutes,
Uh-huh.
but I'm like, that doesn't look like 25 minutes. You go in there. I think we got in. It was only 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
It was 3 minutes.
3
We got
minute
in
wait.
at like 12:50, I believe.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we got in at 12. Got on the car at 12:53.
Yeah.
And
So when a ride breaks down and it reopens, that's usually when it's
that's
a
faster
really
than a
short
lightning lane.
line. Yeah.
The standby would be faster than any lightning lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you happen to be waiting around when it reopens, you'll
Mhm.
just walk right on.
Yep.
Yeah. So we met up with our friends who are like family,
hmm
and we met with VNA and Easy and
His
their
name.
kids.
Yep. Little VNA and Santos.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brian, their brother. showed
Their
up
brother
with his
happened to be
family.
there and his family.
Yeah.
It wasn't
They
planned.
didn't even know that they were going to be
Yeah.
there. And then they saw each other. It's kind of like, You know, their family's very magical when it comes to family. Because what are the chances of them seeing their brother right outside, Mickey's pal around,
Yeah.
and then we seeing us at the same time,
Mhm.
like, and then everybody just, gets together. It's just kind of like, they're just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Kind of my adopted family, my second adopted family. They adopted me when I was a young bachelor up to no good. And had, they took me in, and, like, it's good to have friends, especially like young men. I wasn't super young. I was probably in my 30s.
30s.
Yeah, early 30s. But guys, this is just some life advice. Like, don't just hang out with bros. Like, it's good to have like nice, family oriented, married friends, with kids, so you can get a perspective on life. It's a very much drains a lot of negative stuff from you, and it's kind of, honestly, if I didn't know them and Maribel and Mitch and, like, that whole group of people who kind of I was hanging out with, even though I was like a single guy, and they would shake their head when I would bring a different girl to the family parties every time. It kind of sets you up for being prepared for settling down, because you see and you feel that all the benefits that really don't sound good on paper.
Mm.
You know what I mean? If you're a single guy with a career, and it's just kind of like you're free, you're doing everything. It's like, a lot of guys will be like, why do you want to take up additional responsibilities? You know, and all the reasons that people say just sound like yak, 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 yak. You actually have to experience that. So if you don't have a family, because, I'm the sibling, my sister lives in Texas, like, so I don't have that in my own family. You kind of need to experience those type of things and see those positive aspects in order to, like, believe it. People will tell you, oh man, kids and getting married, this is great. These are positive things. And you're like, I don't see how. It just sounds like more expensive and more drama. but it is, it actually is. And so once you experience it, it's cool. They did that for me, and I really thank them for that. But yeah, it's really fun being at Disney with people too, with family.
Yeah,
that's why we're always with our cousins when we can. And
we
stuff.
showed them the experience of Sonoma Terrace and Brother Thelonious. So they got to drink a Brother Thelonious with us and experience what it's like to chill at Sonoma Terrace.
Yeah, they're like, why are you guys always here? And then now they understand. Watching some mostly kosher.
Yeah.
Christmas time is the best time to be there too.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
But before that, we were doing like you were talking about, Magic Key. Right now, they have a PhotoPass spot for Magic Key holders, not to be confused with the Magic Key tote bag spot.
Right.
So in DCA, you get to Magic Key holders get a photo magic shot, and it's a free download for Magic Key holders, and it's where the Golden Zephyr is, and it's sort of like that area where you have that whole view of DCA, the pal around and Incredicoaster and all that. So there's a sign. It says Magic Key Shots or something. So a lot of people don't know about that, and they always redirect you back to the Symphony Swings where the Magic Key free stuff is. But anyway, so we got some magic shots done, and they were pretty cool.
Yeah, we turned one into a...
we turned both of them into a Christmas card.
Christmas cards, yeah.
Yeah.
And because they make it look... They always have one that looks like a Christmas card.
Yeah.
And with some special effects, the... What do you call
with
it?
the magic shots.
Magic shot, yeah. And then you just, you go to Walgreens?
Yeah, and they're having a sale. I mean, I'm just going to give everyone the coupon.
Yeah, give it to them.
It expires on December 14th, so hurry up. But it's called, all caps, Joy Photo. So I think it's photo or photos. We'll try both. But you could use it as many times as you want, and it's 50% off.
Right.
And so to make photo cards, it was like $22 for 20 cards. So now it's $11,
Yeah. 50 cents a card, pretty much.
Yeah.
And, it's like,
and my sister told me about that because she uses that a lot. So
that's pretty cool. So the magic shot that we took, we turned it into a good Christmas card that we can send to people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's easy because it already looks like it was made for that anyway. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
So then we saw another photographer hanging out with a regular one, not Magic Key one. and that was the one that I posted with the snow.
Mm-hmm.
We're blowing out
Mhm.
the snows and stuff. So she made it a magic shot too. So I think those little random places are cool because the photographers are just waiting around with no line.
Yeah.
So don't go to the popular places like the castle or the Christmas tree.
Yeah. I mean, go there
mean,
if you want to. If
Yeah,
you really
you can
need that
stand in
shot.
line if you want
Yeah.
to, but they're free, and so they can give you different poses because they don't have a line behind them.
Yeah.
So they can talk to you. They tell
And
you,
they're
you know-
bored.
yeah,
And so they're really going to go all out to get you to do stuff. And if you are, if there's things that you want to pose as, they're going to have a lot more patience with you. They're going to really
yeah.
work with you
So,
and
you
to do
know,
whatever you want. So
For those influencers who
Yeah.
complain that they're too quick or whatever, you just find one that's
Yeah.
know, and then put on your whatever for the clothes you're wearing.
and this is right where the water is, where the with the pile around is the background.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
a
like
huge,
the-
it's a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Especially
nobody,
in the daytime or
nobody
the
in the
nighttime.
background.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, try to look for photographers who are just standing around instead of the popular places. Because if they're just standing around, yeah, they have time to do magic shots for you too. Like,
Yeah.
So
And I think one of the issues is that people, and this is what I used to think, and so in case anyone has my kind of mindset, you see these people who are in Disney uniforms with cameras walking around, you think that they're off shift or that they're not. They're actually just ask, hey, are you available?
Mhm.
And usually they're going to say yes. There's just nobody there.
right,
And so they're stationed throughout both parks.
yeah,
And so it's not like they're taking a break or they're off duty.
yeah.
No one's asking them. There's thousands of people who probably want pictures who are just passing them by because they think they're off shift. They're
Oh
not
yeah,
off
because
shift.
they're just standing there.
They're just
yeah,
standing there. They're
yeah.
not off shift.
It's either break time or
Yeah.
something. But yeah,
The only time when they're on break time, trust me, they're walking fast.
yeah,
They're
they're
trying
out
to get
of
to
there.
their food or whatever. If they're just standing there, no, you can approach them.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So that's pretty cool. And then we went to, of course, the Magic Key tote bag, where you can. It's from 1 to 5. You can get a Magic Key tote bag. I think from now till December 15th or something.
Mm-hmm.
But even though it says from 1 to 5, I knew that they will start a little bit before 1,
Yeah.
before all the park hoppers come.
Mm-hmm.
So we started lining up at 12:30, and then like 12:45, they began to, start letting us in to give us our free tote bags.
Yeah.
So that was cool too. And then something cool happened while we were sitting at Sonoma Terrace with our friends. Luann, who's this
Magical lady.
magical older lady. I
Well,
don't know if
older than
she's a
us.
grandma yet, but she's older than us, and she was just dancing and having a good time.
She was embracing the Disney spirit. She was
Yes.
dancing to Mostly Kosher. This other guy came up and danced with her.
Yeah, she got him to come up,
Oh.
and then like her daughters were all embarrassed because she just went up to some younger guy and just be like, "Yeah, dance."
I was like, this lady is cool. So we want to give her a shout out. We gave her some swag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
her and her daughters.
We give her some chimes,
She
bringing
was
the
magical.
magic. Yeah.
We took pictures with her. She wanted a picture with all of us, and and all that stuff. It was
Yeah,
so
where are
funny.
those pictures?
Well, they were on her daughter's camera.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
she has
then
to-
the other one was, I think, on VNA's camera.
Oh, well,
I
ask
think.
BNA.
Yeah, but the other. So we gave her swags. Hopefully, they find us.
I know. Yeah,
But that was
the-
funny.
They're super cool.
Her
family.
daughters were all embarrassed, but we were like, "No, she's cool."
No, that's how you're supposed to act.
Yeah,
Sonoma Terrace, Christmas. Come on. Yeah.
she had the magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe your mom will be fun.
Yeah. Why can't my mom? Well, my mom doesn't drink. That's why she won't be.
Yeah,
acting
I don't
weird.
even know she was drinking. I think she's just
No,
cool.
she was drinking.
But some people don't even need that.
She wasn't having Brother Thelonious, but
Yeah.
she was having wine or something.
Eh.
But it was funny.
So,
Yeah.
well,
Well, we tried the Genie Plus modification thing, and it does work.
oh, yeah, I took a little video. I'll post it later.
It has to be within the same park, though.
Right.
The thing you're modifying it to.
Mm-hmm. But it is nifty to where, because you used to like lose it. You cancel and you just lose
Yeah.
your place in line, kind of.
Yeah.
This you can just change. And now what I noticed is you can't change it to the same ride.
Oh, like if you wanted to ride it a different time.
Yeah, so let's say you have a ride at 1 p.m., like Goofy Sky School.
Mm-hmm.
and you're eating.
Yeah.
And you're like, you want to change, and you're like, oh, I don't think I'm going to make it by 2,
Mhm.
you know, because you have between 1 and 2 to get
Mhm.
there. So I want to, but I see an opening, you know, on the app for like 2:30.
Mhm.
You can't change
Yeah,
it to
you
the
have to
same
change it to a
ride.
different ride.
Right.
Okay.
Now, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because I think you could change it to a different ride, then change it back to Goofy. So they should just let you
Maybe?
do it. But I don't know. Yeah.
Huh.
As long as you haven't gone on it before, I don't see why you couldn't. I'll test it out.
Yeah.
Like one of our slow days where we're like just messing around.
Oh yeah, that's what we forgot to mention is when we had our multi experience, it was kind of sort of like what you and Carrie were talking about. We had our 2 multi experiences,
Mhm.
but we had a real lightning lane,
Mhm.
and we didn't want to use our magic band because we didn't want them to mistakenly scan the multi experience.
Yeah.
And we want them to scan that particular like lightning lane for Space Mountain, for example,
Right.
instead. So we asked the guy, and he's like, that's a good question. I would just use your phone just in case because you don't want
Yeah.
anything to glitch and then they take your multi experience
Yeah.
instead. Yeah.
And it technically wouldn't be a glitch. It would just be taking it would be taking it in chronological order.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know.
But I
and
think the people who would know are guest services.
maybe.
Yeah. Maybe, huh? Yeah. We didn't want to test it. We're like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. I'll just use my phone.
I think people who would know would be people who would just have a lot more experience, you know, guarding the entries.
Yeah.
Because
But guest
they
services.
would have got those questions already.
Well,
like,
guest service
multiple
is supposed to
times.
know everything about the system, about everything. Because you know, like when our fast pass was broken that day,
Yeah.
or our Genie Plus was broken, I had to walk over to guest services,
Yeah.
and they have that line. So
They-
the plaid people are supposed to be like the knower of everything.
Yeah. But that's kind of like an Apple genius. It's like they're not really geniuses. You know, I don't get into the supposed to. I get into experience. And somebody who's been in front of a ride for years, they're probably going to know. So,
Mm.
well, ask Sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else? Oh, so then we came back, and you went home, and I stayed in Orange County because I had to go see Cinderella,
You're forced
or I
to.
had to. It's called Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella musical, and I guess Rodgers and Hammerstein is like a popular.
They're legends
Yeah,
as far as, you know, Broadway and musicals.
yeah. So, so my friend, one of my best friends, she and her brothers, she has twin brothers who they love musicals, so they have season tickets
Yeah.
to like several venues,
Mhm.
and so anything that they're not interested, the brothers aren't interested, I get to go, or anything that they've already seen, you get to go. Like you and I will be going with her to see Book of Mormon
I guess.
later on this year, or later on next year, like not till September.
Yeah. She
But it's
just
'cause the-
volunteered me.
Well, you said you wanted to see it. We were going to
I
go
will
see
go
in
see
San
that.
Diego.
Yeah.
So actually, it wasn't part of their season, but since they already saw it, they didn't. So they actually, I guess, bought extra. I don't know how it works. It's just whatever you want me to go to, just tell me. So I have several. I'm going to several with her this year. Like Frozen is in February, and then Grease. So. Yeah, so I got to see Cinderella at the Carpenter Center in Long Beach, and it was really good. There was a little twist.
Well, you took your mom too.
Yeah, I took my mom because there was an extra ticket because there's always 3
Yeah.
tickets. And so her friend never got back to her. So I'm like, she's like, you know anyone who wants to go? Otherwise, we'll just have like an empty seat. And I was like, I just asked my mom. She's like, okay. So my mom's never been to a musical, like not a real one. She's been to like a college one. But so she enjoyed it. But there was a little twist to the original Cinderella. And then I think the star of the show is really the fairy godmother. Her voice was really good and her dress was really nice. So I think she was more the star than actual Cinderella, or Ella is her name. So yeah, I thought it was good. It was solid. It, not as good as the big productions at Seizure Storm in Costa Mesa, but pretty good, pretty decent.
That's cool. So what was the twist?
Well, yeah, I guess people don't care, right? They're not gonna go see it, right?
I don't
Well,
know.
it wasn't like they kind of made it funny. Like it wasn't like when she ran and one of her glass slippers fell.
Yeah.
It was that she was running and then she ran back and she took off her slipper and put it there for him to find purposely. And she's like, hee hee hee. Like it was supposed to be a joke. So that was sort of the twist. And then the other twist was one of the stepsisters is really nice and fell in love with a revolutionist who just wanted to.
So maybe this was more like the original story, because I think a lot of people take Disney movies.
Oh, that's right. It probably is not the twist. The Disney
Yeah.
movie's the twist.
Yeah.
This is probably the original.
Yeah.
Where like it's supposed to be like there's this guy who's kind of like a revolutionist where the kingdom is like treating their people so poorly, kind of like that kind of thing, and he wants to start a revolution, but the prince doesn't know what's going on because his right hand guy, whatever they're
It's
called.
Jafar.
Yeah, his Jafar is like kind of like doing everything already for him behind
Yeah.
his back.
Yeah.
So this guy's just trying to get, and then the one of the stepsisters falls in love with the revolutionist guy, and then they both get Cinderella to get a meeting with them or whatever, get them to talk to the prince. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So that was the twist. Like, but the stepmother is mean as usual. One of the other sisters is mean.
All right. Well, so you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to, I guess, seeing Book of Mormon later in 2023.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for headlines, right?
Yes.
All right.
It's Taste Talk with Tracy. Mash some magic in your mouth.
Well, peppermint cream cheese pretzel. This was one of the Christmas or holiday season stuff over at Disneyland that I wanted to try before the holiday ends, and that was my one opportunity to try it last Friday. And it was in the refreshment corner. So it's basically a soft pretzel stuffed with cream cheese, and then on top of it was drizzled with white and regular chocolate and peppermint, like candy cane pieces. I thought it was really good because it was nice and warm too.
Because we were cold. That's when we were under the mountain.
Yeah, but usually, their food is just room temperature. But this one, like, I don't know, maybe I would happen to go when it was like a batch they just baked. I don't know. But it was nice and warm and good. So it tasted like it just came out of the oven or something.
Yeah. I had a few bites. I liked it. I think, the peppermint wasn't too strong.
Yeah.
And it was definitely Christmassy, warm. So definitely, if you can get it before the holidays are over, I recommend it. It's not. I think it's like if one person eats it, it's going to be because of the cream cheese and because it's baked good. It's going to be filling.
Yeah, it was filling. You
Yeah.
only helped me a little bit, so I was like full and I couldn't eat dinner.
Yeah. So, but if you're hungry, that's good, and if you have a sweet tooth, that's good because it is sweet. Yeah, but definitely, worth the time.
Yeah, it was really good.
How much was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but I can look really quick. I think it was. Well, I can't even guess. $7.59.
Okay, and it was like it's a typical size Disney pretzel, so it wasn't like tiny.
Yeah.
Anything. It wasn't like cookie size. It was pretty big.
I mean, at the refreshment corner, their other seasonal thing right now is the spicy beef and cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
But I heard it wasn't good at all, so I was like, okay, I'll do the pretzel. It's always safe to do a pretzel.
Now they do have and maybe it's at California Adventure, but they do have a pecan pretzel too, right? Somewhere.
They did have it here at the refreshment corner, but she said that was Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
At Pim's Kitchen, they have something with bacon and pecan and caramel and all that stuff.
So, as much as I hate avocado, I also don't like pecans, but it's not a
But
taste thing.
you'll tolerate pecans.
Yeah, it's just kind of an old school beef I have with pecans because I used to have to cut the grass. We had and if you grow up in Atlanta, there's just pecans everywhere. I consider it rat food because they're so plentiful. There's squirrels and whatever will just eat them. You could literally walk to school and eat a pound of pecans if you want to. And I used to have to cut the grass. Didn't know what I was doing. And we had one of those old school lawnmowers without the bag, and it was like shrapnel. It used to cut up my legs.
And principles, you
Yeah.
just hate pecans out of principle.
Yeah, I was just like, so because they were just but but then I moved out to California because to me I thought that there's just something that kids found in parks and just ate. You know what I mean? I didn't know that actually people
Here, it's really
here-
expensive.
Yeah, I didn't know people actually in California thought they were delicacies. I'm just like,
Yeah.
why are you eating a pecan pie? That's what like homeless people eat, you know?
In Georgia.
And yeah, if you're homeless in Atlanta, you could just go to the park and just fill up on nuts.
Man, here it's so rare. Like, I don't know. It's like walnuts are cheaper, and if I try to make something that calls for pecans, it's like, I don't know, like $20 a pound or something. And it's like, I'll just use walnuts. But yeah,
Yeah, it was a culture shock when I came to California, but apparently people like them, so I will not begrudge them that. I will not eliminate them the way I plan to eliminate avocados. So
you will taste it because remember Chantal made a pecan pie and she won the baking contest, pecan pie baking contest,
Yeah.
and you did try it.
yeah. It's not poison. I just childhood trauma. All right.
Well, you saw Brian post something about just like that, Reedy Creek bill is walked back by
Not
Florida.
officially.
Not officially, but there was something that you saw that said
Yeah,
something.
they're already a lot of sources. They're already talking behind the scenes. Iger's doing it.
I
Well,
think the official statement from Florida is, I think we can work something out.
yeah,
That was the
Yeah.
statement.
because the initial thing was that it came out as like Disney has taken a huge tax burden off those two counties.
Hmm.
And we talked about this at length when this first started. And now it's kind of like this situation, kind of like Putin in the Ukraine. It's like he has to save face, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, okay, it was a mistake, but how do I get out of this without looking like I lost, you know? It's kind of where DeSantis is because his only other plan was to say, well, no, the counties wouldn't take, because it would be like a huge, I forgot what it was, but it was like, an extra like $1,000 per citizen or $2,500 per citizen or something
Yeah.
in taxes per year.
Mhm.
So it was going to be one of those things where it would have hurt, and he's going to lose face later on.
Mm.
So he wants out of it. He wants to walk it back. He doesn't admit that.
Mhm.
And Iger is not the type of person that's going to be like, I told you so.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, dude, whatever works best for both of us, we could hash it out in private.
Yeah, he's
You
not
know.
going to go on a Twitter war or whatever.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. So that's why he's a good leader, and that's what good leaders do. The outcome matters, not the bragging rights.
Mm-hmm.
So something's going to probably be worked out. I don't think it was supposed to kick in until June 2023 anyway.
Mm.
So they have some time, and it's going to be one of those things where, there's going to probably be some concessions, and then DeSantis will be able to say, yep, we got this, and it's probably going to be things that Disney didn't care about anyway.
Yeah.
Somebody was giving an example online about like there's a provision where Disney can't build a nuclear power plant next to Disney World, and so if they take that out,
Well, hello.
and which is probably a good idea. And if you say that, and then DeSantis would be like, "Well, I prevented Disney from building a nuclear power plant," even though Disney was probably never intending to
They
do that
don't
anyway.
plan to anyway.
Yeah,
But sure.
sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So speaking of Iger, there was a Sandy Hook benefit. That I forgot which city it was in, but Iger spoke at that benefit. He was joined by former President Obama and Matthew McConaughey. I know Matthew McConaughey was pretty passionate about the school shooting matter. So Iger was saying that preventing school shootings before they happen should be among our highest priority. So he basically spoke out about gun control at this Sandy Hook benefit. So he giving his stance and saying that since he has a as Disney, the Walt Disney Company has a huge platform and has the power to kind of like
Speak on it.
speak
To a large
and make
number of
things
people.
happen, make changes.
Mhm.
He thinks it's important that they do something about it.
Yeah, and you know,
Whether
again,
it's political or not, because remember last week he was talking about, oh, we don't want to be in politics, but we like to
well,
stop.
I think there are certain things that, like, again, to me, getting into anything, if somebody says something's political, there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
So
That's what he's saying.
if you say, hey, on Tuesday I like wearing a blue shirt, and I'm saying, Tracy, that's political.
Right.
Like that's there's nothing you could do about my opinion of that.
Right.
You know
right.
what I mean?
And
It's
that's
like,
what he was saying. Like, he just wants to talk about what's right and what's wrong, and he wants to do what's right. And if people choose to call it political, then
Right.
there's nothing, so be it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is I don't mind anybody. First of all, politicians should be political. They're politicians. That's so in the title. Heads of corporation, to me, I think can be political, non-political. I don't necessarily think school shootings. Obviously, everybody's against school shootings. It doesn't matter where you fall on the political
Right.
spectrum. How to solve them, I think, is what gets into the politics of
Yeah.
it, right? So, I think that if you come out with a stance and an opinion, and it is what it is, to me, that's all I care about as far as leadership. I don't necessarily have to agree with you, but just don't be a coward about it. Don't waver on it. Again, the whole thing with the whole, bill, Parental Rights Act in Florida and Chapek was that he was just like, we gave money to politicians. Like, why are people calling us out about it? I guess I just won't say anything.
Yeah.
and then people are like, you need to say something. Okay, I'll say something. Well, you said the wrong thing. You said it too late. Okay, I'll say something else. It's like, if you look like you're being forced to do something, then leaders lead. They don't follow, right? So when somebody has to put pressure on you to do something, and then you cave to that pressure, you don't look like a leader.
Yeah.
And that's where I think he fell into trouble. And again, that's something that really you could teach a little bit of it. They teach it in the military, they teach it in certain business schools and stuff. But if you just kind of worked your way up a corporation and you're just kind of known as somebody who gets deals done, who gets sales numbers up, like, that's not your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not really held accountable for what you say, or having an opinion or not having an opinion, because somebody who is just in the financial world, you'll say whatever it is to get the ROI.
Yeah.
So, and that's what he was good at. That's why you really have to evaluate people who you're going to put in that C-suite, especially CEO spot, because whatever you do, the entire company is going to reflect on the entire company.
Yeah.
And sometimes those people need to be second in command or third in command, maybe not the top guy. So, yeah, that's fine. He spoke out on it. We'll see if there's any true initiatives that come out of it, but good for him.
Yeah. Well, in other news, Disney After Dark stuff is coming back. So Sweetheart Night is back, and they added a new event called Princess Night.
Yeah.
So those will be coming. Like, look for details on when to get tickets and stuff like that. And then here's a big thing where Indiana Jones will be closed for a really long time. Not really long, but from January 8th until spring 2023.
Yeah.
And this is more than just a refurb. I think they said that, I heard that there will be new details that they'll add from the new movie, the new Indiana Jones movie. So that's the reason why there's a long closure. I mean, if you're going to the parks in January, there's a lot of things closed.
Well, that's kind of the downtime, right? It's after the holidays. So really, the way the seasons work now, that's the only time they can refurbish a lot of stuff before the huge crowds.
Well, at first it was supposed to be Indiana Jones, of course, And then Radiator Springs will close mid-January sometime. Then Lincoln's Greatest Moments. That's where you go to
rest.
rest.
It's pretty cool though, I would say.
Obviously, Tarzan's Treehouse, which is not going to reopen for a while to that Robinson's Family theme. And then Grizzly River Run, of course. But then before, they were going to have Web Slingers also close. But that would have been too much to have Radiator Springs and Web Slinger and Indiana Jones. So I think they held off on the Web Slingers refurbishment for now. And it's kind of TBD. So...
Yeah.
When we're there on the 14th, it's going to be Small World, and then they all is closing because they're going to put the holiday thing back to normal. And then Nightmare Before Christmas was supposed to be added to this list to go back to the normal, but they're like, okay, nothing's going to be open, but Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So then,
And how many people are actually going to get on that in a day?
Yeah, exactly. So they need to spread it out, right? So I think they also held off on putting Nightmare Before Christmas back.
Yeah, because that'd be
Haunted
another ride
Mansion
shut
back
down.
to the normal, So they're going to leave Nightmare for Christmas for a while, I think.
I wonder what they should do is take Rise of Resistance off of a la carte just for like 3 months. That would be pretty cool. If it was just like you could get like a lightning lane for it, like on a regular Disney Plus. Yeah.
I think they'd rather have people wait in line or pay the premium.
Yeah, but, I mean, people are already going to wait in line. I'm just saying it would increase their Genie Plus sales for that month. And then it'll do two things. It would increase their Genie Plus sales because that's a huge ride. And it would get people more into that queue.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty long queue. They
like
designed
that
that queue to hold like 1,000 people. So because they wrap it around so many times outside, and it won't be hot. So the people who are outside aren't going to be dying, So I don't know. It'd be something maybe tomorrow should take a look at, see if that's feasible. We'll see.
But I don't even know what they're doing for Mickey and Minnie. I mean, I guess there's going to be one of those virtual queues where you refresh.
Yep, and then you have to time.
And then is there going to be also an option to just buy?
Well,
eventually, but not at first, huh? Because that's, I think, what Carrie said at for the Cosmic Rewind. It was virtual queue at first only.
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, obviously, they're going to want as many people in that queue as possible with all the other rides down. So I don't know if they're going to make it virtual queue only because they need people off the streets, so to speak. And so it's a head scratcher. I don't know.
Because Rise of the Resistance started as virtual queue only.
Yeah.
And Web Slingers.
Yeah, but there were...
Then there were people complaining. They're like, okay, we'll add a...
Yeah, I mean, but there weren't so many rides down at once when it opened, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And Galaxy's Edge was a whole new land that held people. But now the population of the parks has caught up with that. And so that's baked in. So
especially if the rest of Toontown's not reopened yet.
The rest
There's
of Toontown's
nowhere
not
to
reopened.
pack everybody.
Mm-hmm. And because a lot of people from who go to Walt Disney World are probably thinking, well, what's the problem? Like Disneyland is not nearly as big as it's Disney World.
Yeah.
It's not, and especially people who only got the one park a day tickets. It's there's nowhere to go, and with the reservation system, you still it can limit some people, but how much revenue do you want to lose? By keeping so many people out, it's going to be hard. But that's the kind of logistics stuff I think is interesting, though, And I think now that Demaro has probably a lot less pressure on him, like you got to make this much money this quarter type of pressure. There's still pressure, but, he's worked with Iger for years. I think they have a good relationship, and Iger's going to leave it up to him. So, yeah, we'll see what they come up with because that's going to be crazy. That's a huge, huge hit to the park with that many rides down all in the same, few months.
Yeah.
especially like what were the rides again?
Indiana Jones, It's a Small World at one point, but then on the 21st, it's Indiana Jones Radiator Springs,
Okay.
Grizzly River Run.
Okay. Well, at least that's split between the two.
But yeah, before it was going to be Haunted Mansion
Right.
and Web Slingers, but they're like, all
Yeah.
right, let's hold off
And then
on
you
those
gotta
two.
you gotta assume that every day there's a ride that just goes down.
Yes.
So
Rise of the Resistance.
it could be Space Mountain, Matterhorn.
Soaring.
Yeah,
Soaring's always down.
Soaring's always down. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's it for us this week.
Yep.
So very important, guys. You gotta enter. This is the biggest holiday one we've done yet. Well, I don't know if it's the biggest. I guess the
No,
Instapot was pretty big.
Instapot was
Instapot was definitely heavier. But as far as Disney related and on theme, this is Loungefly. This is a Loungefly collection. It's Christmas related. So definitely enter. Just tell us what kind of attraction you would want for yourself. Disney attraction, restaurant, whatever. Direct message us those answers to Rope Dropping Knowledge on Instagram, Rope Dropping Knowledge on Facebook, or info@ropedroppingknowledge.com. For every medium you use, you get an additional entry. And this ends Saturday the 17th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you must be 18 years or older to enter and live in the continental United States. But we will accept Hawaii, Alaska, Puerto Rico. All right. I think that's it for us this week.
Yep.
Well, no, because we'll be back later this week. we'll be back.
We'll be back
Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah, we did this one so late that it's only going to be a few days before we do our next one.
Yeah.
But so we will see you soon. I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.